I've been hearing a lot of calls for Trump supporters to take the high road towards Kamala supporters, for us to be intentionally conciliatory, to try to prove to them that we are not what they think we are. And to that I say no. No. You cannot unify with people who are intent upon destroying you. You can't unify with people who cast baseless aspersions upon you, call you vile names, names that should actually carry some weight and mean something, but no longer do because these people have tried to apply them to almost everything and everyone where they have no business being applied. Insults like racist and Nazi and white supremacist. I could go on. You can't unify with people who are hell-bent on fear-mongering against you. That's not possible. And if the last 8 years of us not being Nazis aren't enough to have it sink in that we're not in fact Nazis, then us being overly conciliatory right now isn't going to change a damn thing, unfortunately. Now, that does not mean that we go on the offensive and then attempt to be cruel or do to them what they've done to us. But it means that we understand the reality of the situation and we stay on the defensive, we stay stalwart, and we don't attempt to have false and disingenuous unity where unity is currently not possible. Because unity sounds nice, it should be the goal, but you cannot unify with people who think you're Nazis. And the onus is not on us to prove that we're not Nazis. We are the unity party. And hopefully someday they wake up and see that. And I believe that that's possible for anyone. Having been where I've been and being where I am now, I think it's possible for anyone. But in order to unify, it means that both sides, all the sides, have to understand that while we may disagree on many things, and that's for us to hash out through these election processes, we respect each other enough to not baselessly call each other Nazis or racists or Hitler or white supremacists. We respect each other enough to not lie incessantly about each other. Make up very, very dangerous lies, actually, that someone is Hitler 2.0. That's a dangerous lie. If one side is unwilling to have that level of respect and engage fairly, then again, unity is not possible. We're still the unity party, but we can't unify with people who think we're Nazis. And I know this firsthand because when I first walked away from the Democrat Party in 2020, I was very nuanced. I was very compassionate towards these people because I was very new to all this. I was not yet entrenched on the right. I called myself politically homeless at the time. And I thought, in all my naivete, a silly me, I thought that I could just logically explain to people how I went from being an Obama, Hillary supporter to a Trump supporter because the process was in fact quite logical. I thought I could just explain it. I thought I could just explain to people how I'm not a Nazi. I'm not a racist. This is just what happened. Because I'd had a genuine, organic, authentic experience and it had nothing to do with hate or racism. And I just thought I could share that with people. That was pretty silly. Because for the past 4 years, all I've gotten from people on the left, including people who knew me and liked me, people who graduated college with me, did theater with me, are baseless accusations. They have sold themselves on this narrative that myself and people like me, that we just bizarrely and inexplicably woke up one morning and decided to be racist. And that's in fact how people go from being Obama, Hillary supporters to Trump supporters. Not once in 4 years of being very vocal about this, not once have I ever had a current Democrat ask me what it is that made me walk away. And it's not about agreeing. It's really not. I don't have an issue if you disagree with me. The issue is when you refuse to recognize that I might have any honest reasons for disagreeing with you. And that is what I've gotten from the left for the past 4 years. It's not about, oh, you're pro-life and I'm pro-choice. It's, oh, you're trying to control women's bodies. You hate women. It's not about, oh, you're a Trump supporter and I'm a Kamala supporter. It's, oh, you're a Nazi, you're a white supremacist, you're a racist. And this is, in fact, what made me walk away from the Democrat Party. Because it's not about you have different ideas of how to respond to COVID and I have different ideas of how best to respond to COVID and how do we rectify that? How do we meet in the middle? No, it was that I had concerns about the response to COVID, very valid concerns, especially in retrospect, but they were valid even at the time. I had complaints about how I and myself and my family and millions of Americans like me were being harmed by the response to COVID. And to that, I was called a Nazi. To that, I was called racist. To that, I was called selfish. That's what the Democrats did to me. If I had questions about lockdowns, if I had concerns about the shot, if I had questions about the mask, if I had concerns about the mask, it wasn't just that I had a different point of view and maybe we should listen to her and the millions of people like her. No, it was, in fact, you're hateful and you want to end grandma's life and you're racist for some godforsaken reason. And therein lies the issue. Because if one half of the equation believes that the other half of the equation is hate-fueled and racist and Nazi, and that they can't possibly have any honest, moral, or even neutral reasons for disagreeing, well then unity is not possible currently, as it stands. And the onus is not on me to rectify that situation. I will keep not being a Nazi. I will keep not being a white supremacist. But the onus is not on me to prove it anymore, because I've spent the last 4 years trying to prove it, and I'm done. My actions speak for themselves. This popular election of Donald Trump should speak for itself. It's incoherent and irrational to believe that one half or more of the American electorate is Nazis and white supremacists. That makes no damn sense. Until one side can be respectful enough of the other side to understand that while we might disagree on serious issues, you're not actually a Nazi, you're not actually a white supremacist, unity is not currently possible. And it doesn't matter how conciliatory we are. Now, to be very clear, I don't believe it's too late. It's not too late for anyone to wake up and walk away. It's not too late until God says it's too late, and God has not said it's too late. God is not done with America. The battle lines are not drawn and set in stone. If someone woke up and walked away today, doesn't matter how hardline they were, what they called me, whatever else, I would welcome them with open arms and forgive them, whatever. But it requires an actual change of belief, an actual change of behavior. It requires someone to reject the media propaganda and to understand that even while we may still disagree, I'm not a Nazi. Look at Elon Musk, look at RFK Jr., look at Joe Rogan. These are very socially liberal people I would probably disagree with on much. And yet, I am closer to them, ideologically speaking, than I am to someone who's still currently on the left, because they at least understand, while we may have fundamental differences and disagreements on how best to govern America, they at least understand that I'm not a Nazi and that the media is lying to them. So it doesn't require complete coherence. It doesn't require complete agreement. It doesn't require for one side to submit to the other side. That's not what I'm saying, but it requires for both sides to have enough respect to understand that the other side is not hate-fueled and racist and a white supremacist. And currently, that is not the situation in America. So I'm not here to unify with people who think I'm a Nazi. Because it's not possible. It's fake. Unity based on a lie is just a lie. I am here to unify and to make America great again with people who may disagree with me, but who are at least willing to respectfully hash it out and to understand that I have honest reasons for disagreeing with them. That's who I'm here to unify with. And that's the future of this country.